Alright, I want to show you a few things about how you can customize your courses and do some things in there that would make it more usable for students. You've already hopefully seen the video I created regarding how to align assignments to particular days so that the calendar works. This is an example of the art course that we worked on this summer. You can see that she has added some units. The ones that say create are the units that she added. The ones that have the icon on it that came from the folks we released this course from, you can see those are theirs. So I want to show you a couple things. The other thing she did was that she went into each unit and put an announcement showing when the assignments were due for that unit. So I showed you that you could put in the calendar showing individual items that are due. She also will need to do that, but she also put on the outside of the calendar everything that's due in this unit is due by this date. Now, you have to remember that we're a mastery-based program, so that means that students can still have the opportunity to go back and do that work without penalty. But it's very important that she would go into Unit 1 after August 17th and put in zeros for anything a student didn't do. But then allow the student to go back and do that work. That gives them a real sense about what their grade is. You'll want to make sure to do that as well. So let me show you some of the customization, the things you can add, the stuff you can do. So under Build, I can add a folder. Folders are really good. It's it's a series of folders and items typically, or folders and files and audio files and images and videos and web links, that kind of stuff. So in this case, she's added a folder. So if I click on Folder called Let's Create Sketching, she's added a video clip, and then she's added an assignment, and then a link to a portfolio. That's a whole other thing. If you're interested, I can show you. But she's added a folder, and then within that folder she's added an item. So I'm going to go back out of this and just create an empty folder so that you can see how that works. So I'll go create a folder, and so all assignments in this folder are due by March 3rd. Okay? So you can see how easy that is. I can insert a picture here if I wanted to, so that that picture gets stuck in there. You can play around with that. And so I just click on Submit. And anytime you add anything new to a folder or any of this playlist kind of stuff, it'll go down to the very bottom. And then, oops, hello. And then you'll need to move it wherever you want it. So this, just by clicking on it, on the yellow part and moving it, I can move it anywhere. So for me to add anything to this folder, I need to click on the folder name. And then in here, I can add an item, or a file, or another folder. I wouldn't create too many clicks into it, so I wouldn't put folder inside a folder inside a folder inside a folder, because then it gets I get lost, right? So I wouldn't do that. So I'm going to click on Item, Sample Item. So this is what's in the item, right? So if you click on this little 4 arrows, it creates a full screen, so I can edit stuff. This is sample content, right? Just by typing it. I can also do things like add a bar that separates content. Chunking information is really good for kids in an online class. It allows them to know they can take a break from their thinking for a second and then go on to the next. I can also, this is a visual medium, so adding images into a course is really good. So if I go to browse my computer and I do a lot of stuff with images, so I've got a bunch of stuff. So let's say I go down here and grab this apple. You're going to see the apple is really big. Do you see that? It's huge. It's a big apple. So I don't want that apple to be that big. So I go to appearance. It's 1600 pixels, so I don't want that. I want it to be about 300 pixels. That way it really takes up much less space inside that item. So I click OK. Okay, you see, there's the apple. Now if I wanted to add content on this side of the apple, then I would have done this. I would have hit enter, and I would have put it in a table. Insert. And then I could have, I'm going to copy that, and then put the apple in there. I'm going to tab over. Oops, no, I don't want to tab with that. I want to tab. This is an apple. I'll get rid of that apple. So now I've got an apple, and I've got some content next to the apple. So anyway, you can do something. You can play around with format. One of the things I really want to show you though is if I go to YouTube and I want to say about apples, and I found a really great video about apples. Okay, and I want to use
in
that
the Ant Valley. We're searing up our
in my course. Then I want to go to share and go to embed, and it gives me the HTML. So I'm going to copy that HTML, bring it over to my Apple course in my item. See where it says HTML right here? I just click that, and then right below I just paste and then update. Alright, so it's going to put, and I can format that a little bit if I want to. I want to bring this up a little bit. I don't want it to be all the way down there. So I'm done, right? I've got an apple, I've got a video, I'm happy. So I hit submit. It's a little bit of a mess, but it works. So I've got an apple, and I've got the video embedded in my course, and all the student has to do is click on that and watch the video. Okay, straight into my course. You may ask, well, what if a kid, YouTube's blocked inside the school system? Most of our kids are doing this work outside the school system, luckily for us, and so it's not blocked. So feel free to use and preview material before you put it in, but use and preview material. I want to add an assessment, so I can add a test or a survey or an assignment. Assignment is a drop box, so it's where I can have a kid either type into a box or browse and upload a document. These other things down here you're not going to really deal with, but I can do a test. There's multiple choice, there's matching, there's fill in the blank. Fill in the blank is really useful. Discussion boards, I can add a discussion board here, so I can say, I want to talk about apples, right? I want to talk about apples, so I'm going to put a discussion board in there. I'm going to blog. What's the difference between a discussion board and blog? A discussion board is meant to be threaded, meaning I post something and you post something back as a participant. I usually set rules in discussion boards, so I say you must post one original thought and reply to two other people's original thought before you get full credit for that. I can do journals. I can say, let's journal about apples. Tell me your experience with an apple. I put a wiki in. So a wiki, if you've never done a wiki before, is like a web page that we all have rights to edit, except I can track everybody's individual edits. So I can put in a group assignment saying, let's find as much information about apples as we can, and we're all together going to create that piece of content. And everybody's responsible for 10 facts about apples. And I can put the wiki in, and they all edit the wiki. And so we can do that. I can assign groups. So I can say, of the 25 people in my class, I want to break you up into groups and do group work. And if you want to do that, let me know. I can help you by doing that. I can do a chat. I can do a Blackboard Collaborate, which is a tool that you have, and if you don't know how to use that, you need to let me know because it's part of the tools that we use. Love this. It's achievements. These are out in the other places they call these badges. So you can tie certain things in your course. So let's say that there are 15 things you ask kids to do in this unit about apples, and you say if a student shows mastery of 90% or above, meaning they're not just meeting the expectation for passing, but they're really doing much more than that, then they get the Apple badge, and it shows up in their course as having an award of sorts. Okay, so if I click on more tools, I have other stuff. I can say I want to show announcements in here. I want to show a glossary of terms. Remember we talked about portfolios. You can do all that stuff. You won't mess with partner content. All right. So that's how you add things into your course. The other real quick customization I want to show you, because this video is going long. If I go over here and click on the plus sign here, I can add content. I can add a tool link. So if I click on tool link, I can choose the tool. So if I want to add achievements there and call it badges, and so those and make it available to students, then every time I add a badge, it shows it as being grayed out until I achieve it, and then it pops up in full color. The really great thing about that is that it gives students the ability to look forward and try to get beyond just the passing grade, but a little bit of extrinsic motivation to move past just passing. So those are just some of the things. You can go to YouTube and type in Blackboard Learn and learn a whole bunch more about different things that you can do in Blackboard. I will be sending you other videos like this as we have questions. One I will be sending you is how to use the gradebook. All right, so this folder, I don't want this. I don't want an Apple unit inside of Art. So I'm going to click on delete. It's going to say, do you really want to delete? Yes. After you delete, it's going to disappear, and it's gone. I mean, there's no come back. No amount of crying, begging, pleading, praying is going to make that thing come back. So it's gone. So make sure you really want to delete it before you delete it. All right. So take a look around and see what you can do. But you certainly want to look at the content, augment the content, be reflective and responsive to kids. One last thing before I go, I just remembered it. Let's say I added this Get Started video, this Get Started unit, and I only want 3 students to see it because I did it just for them because they were having trouble, and I wanted to kind of differentiate content for those guys. I could click on this, the little arrow, and go to Adaptive Release. Love Adaptive Release, all right? And I could say, only these people, and then I type in their username and passwords, or I go to browse for their username and passwords. Only these people can see it. And I can even put dates and criteria and all this kind of stuff. So you can really differentiate what a student is seeing. So if they're having a hard time with any one particular part of your course, you could go in and add some other material that will make it clear. It could be from you, where you're explaining things in YouTube and you're posting the link, or you could be finding something somewhere else, but you can differentiate the content for a student. All right, let me know if you need any other help. I think this will get you started on customizing your courses.